Hey, Ashley. Hey, too. Hey, Ashley. Oh, I love my bed. Had a little feedback. Hey, Velvet. What's going on, boo? I'm trying to get this live together. My chat box. Hey, Destiny. Hey, Lady AK. Hey, twin. What's going on, y'all? How are y'all doing this Tuesday? What is going on? Hey, Kenya, boo. Hey, B Charmer. Happy Tuesday, y'all. How many of y'all had tacos today? I'm on this keto diet, so I'm still sitting right here looking crazy. Don't know what to have eat, but it's cool. I'll get it together. Hey, Janice, can y'all hear me all right? Y'all know I always have to make sure when I get in here. Man, now Velvet, I love some spaghetti. Love it, but I can't have it right now. Not the traditional way, anyway. Not the way I like to make it. But everybody doing okay? Thank you, Destiny. Well, look, y'all. So, um, can you look this keto? I'm trying to see now. I'm trying this keto. It's something different. It's something new. Hopefully, I can, me and keto get along. And then I'm gonna be doing this intermittent fasting with it. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna take my time and try not to get frustrated. So one step at a time. Now, Kenya, don't be surprised if out of nowhere I pop up asking 1,000 questions about it. So just know I may be asking, may be coming your way if I can't find the answer on my own. So anyway, give me one more second here, y'all. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all saw the thumbnail. And so what I wanted to do, y'all, was I was thinking about it like this. Last week we were doing the Never Have I Evers. The Never Have I Evers, and where, everybody got to tell a little bit, stuff about themselves, and we kind of got into the, the grown and sexy part of it. Hey, do tell. Thank you for coming, boo. But this week I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to make us think this week. And I wanted us to think more so about life a little bit. So, I just want us to come in. Everybody let your guard down. It's going to be a safe place. Whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind, I want us to be able to share that with no problem. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Monique, thank you for coming, boo. But yes, I want us to be able to discuss this stuff, be grown about it, not worry about anyone judging us. But this is really just to make you think about you. Hey, Courtney. But yeah, it's really to make you think about you, where you are. So my thing is, even if you don't put all of your answers in the chat, at least be honest with yourself. So I'm going to be asking some questions, y'all. So be as honest with yourself as possible. And like I said, this is going to be a safe place. Look, no foolishness will be tolerated at all. Period. At all. So I know everybody, saying their hellos or whatever, but we're going to get started in probably maybe another minute. I'll start with the questions. But look, y'all, I don't have any wine. So okay, twin. Take care, you boo. Well, no, Monique. No. Well, and I don't mean to say no like that. Monique asked, "Can we ask you questions?" And so, actually, the way this is going to work is, I have a list of basically what I would consider thought provoking questions, and this is to make all of us think, not just y'all, but me too. Um, and we're just gonna go from there. Like, I probably will do a Q&A again at a later time, because I did do one a few months back. But hey, 247. But yeah, I did do one a couple of months back. But I definitely think that it'll be time for me to kind of do that again, especially considering I'm in a new place now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like in a new place in life. Hey, Rendezvous. So y'all, I'm gonna wait. Hey, Bambi. I'm gonna give it like another second, because I see we got some more people rolling in here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just get started with the questions. Like I said before, thank you, Bambi. Like I said before, y'all, just try to be as honest with yourself as possible, even if you don't put all of your answers in the chat. Hey, Carolyn. All right, y'all. So the first question that I'm going to ask, I hope everyone is ready. The first question is, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self? What advice would you give your 18-year-old self? The 18-year-old you, what would you tell yourself? Like, some of these questions too, y'all, I haven't even answered for myself, but just kind of like thinking on it. What would I tell myself? Destiny said, never to settle, and you can achieve anything. Monique said, people come and go, just like the seasons, so enjoy the ones you have now. Rhonda said, skip college, take courses, take courses that focus on what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Velvet said, to be calmer and stick to my plans better and have a better relationship with God. Courtney says, don't put up with the bullshit. Know your worth. Don't let anyone treat you less than you deserve. Absolutely. I probably would tell myself not to be fearful. I let fear of failure stop me from doing a lot of things, because my mom, my dad, my family had a lot of high expectations for me. Hey, Tanira. Hey, love. My family had a lot of high expectations for me, and I did the same thing. And some things I just didn't do because I wasn't sure if I would succeed at it. Like, I didn't know if it would just be, if it will be too much. So I would talk myself out of some stuff. Okay, Kenya, thank you. So I would talk myself out of some stuff. Be charming says, take full advantage of all opportunities. Right. I definitely agree with that. We definitely want to make sure, y'all, that we got to do that now. Take advantage of everything. Rhonda says, skipping college would have empowered me to do way more and truly live for myself. I would have been fearless a lot sooner in life. Hey, S. Collins. I think so too, Rhonda. I think we did a lot of things early on that other people put in our heads, and not necessarily things, that we wanted to do for ourselves anyway. We just kind of went with what everyone else was doing. Now, the second question, y'all, says, what is something you wish you would have done but never did? What is something you wish you had done, you wish you would have done but never did? Bambi said, take care of my whole person, mind, body, and spirit. Absolutely. And that's, yeah, definitely that. 247 says, live your truth, don't stay in anyone else's shadow. Bambi said she wished she would have finished her nursing degree. Niecy said moved out of state. Rhonda said traveled more when I was younger. And again, the question is, what is something you wish you would have done but never did? And I kind of agree with Rhonda. I wish I would have traveled more. I think I felt like I had all this time left. Well, I can do this later. I put off a lot of things thinking I had all this time left in the world. Rhonda also said, she wished she had lived in another state. Velvet said, go to New York and not had children so soon. Courtney said, went to a trade school. And Tanira said, love on me more before ever getting married. Yeah, now and the thing about it, a lot of this stuff that we're saying that we never did do, a lot of this stuff it's not too late for us to do now. It's just a matter of whether or not, we can find the time and the place to do it. Hey, Tika. Hey, Laura. Thank y'all for coming in. And if you haven't already hit the like button, please do so for me. Thank you. Okay, Sonia, welcome back, boo. I'm glad you're back. All right, y'all. So the next question that I'm going to ask is, what are you most proud of? What are you most proud of? Let's see. B. Charmer says she wished she had left failed relationships sooner. And I believe that was for the second question. "247 says, I'm proud of going into the Army. Ashley says, I'm proud of myself for never giving up, no matter how many times I've fallen, of course, or failed at life. Rhonda says, choosing myself and leaving corporate America despite opinions. Hey, babe. Thank you. B. Charmer says, my ability to recover and slay. Okay. The bounce back. Bambi says, my resilience. Velvet says, I am proud of my children. What I'm most proud of right now is the progress I've made from being a young woman to the woman I am now. It's taken a lot for me to get here. It's taken a lot of heartbreak, a lot of crying, a lot of tears to get to where I am. And so I'm thankful for it. Laura says my successful marriage since I got married at 17. And everything that y'all said is definitely something to be proud of. Monique says, I'm proud of my parents for just giving me the opportunity to have life. Right. And so, and being proud doesn't necessarily mean being proud of just things with you, but others as well. But I would prefer that with the questions that you do kind of focus on you, because a lot of times we do deflect things and we focus on other people instead of focusing on us. Tika said, I'm proud of stepping outside of my comfort zone. It has made me grow and continues to make me grow. Right. And that's how you grow. It's like, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expect something different. You definitely have to step outside. So I'm going to wait just a second in case someone else has something else. I'm going to have something else they want to add to that. But I'm going to go ahead and get the next question. All right, y'all. So the next question is, what are your current goals? Like, what are you working on right now? What are your current goals? Be it long term or short term. What are you working on now? Like for me, right now, I'm still working on trying to hold myself accountable for my actions, my interactions with people, things that I need to take care of with me, and working on my YouTube channel. Like my goal right now is, I've been wanting to change the direction of my channel, and I'm working on that. So I haven't quite achieved it yet, but it's a work in progress. Carolyn says, get more videos out, which is her short term thus far. Laura says, I'm working on getting my body back in shape and controlling my anxiety. Courtney said, fixing up my house. Bambi says, working on changing the narrative of my life. Sonia says, myself, other than wanting to move forward and use the degree that I worked so hard for. Okay. Delva says, healing myself, building strong family, and relocating. Rhonda said, find a baby daddy. Okay. Write a book and building products for my company. And that's something, y'all, I'm just glad everyone has a goal that's keeping them moving. Because a lot of people don't have goals. They just get up, wake up in the morning, go to work, you know, have the same routine every day. They don't have anything that they're working on. And you don't necessarily have to have some huge product. You don't have to have business or anything. You can just work on you. Like Sonia said, I'm working on myself. Velva said she was working on herself and her family and trying to relocate. Bambi said she's branding herself. And even with me, like I said, I'm still working on trying to become a better woman. I've made a lot of progress, but it doesn't stop here. B. Charmer says, continuing on my path to spiritual and financial philanthropy. Hey, and so hopefully, I hope everyone is like reading everyone's answers and that we all get inspired by this, y'all. So the next, okay, so hey, Miss Beverly, thank you for coming in. All right, y'all. So the next question says, what about life scares you the most? What about life scares you the most? And when I say scares you the most, I don't mean animals. I don't mean being afraid of the dark or heights or anything like that. Like, what about life scares you the most? Velvet says change. Animal Lover says the unknown. Monique says fitness journey and learn how to reset and renew my mind. Okay, so that's what you're working on. Okay, your current goals. Okay, Monique. Now, Nisi said one of her fears, one of the things that scares her is failure. B. Charma says being misunderstood. Courtney says failing my children. Um, Miss Beverly says changing, not having control. Sonia says not being as successful as I would like to be, the fear of the unknown. 247 says scared I won't be here to see my son grow up. Carolyn says passing and leave my children so young behind. As Colin says, to put herself first, and she may be referring to a current goal, and then that could be something that scares her right now. Rhonda says the only thing I'm afraid of is living without my parents. I can deal with everything else. Let some of that sink in a little bit, y'all, because sometimes we don't think about that. We don't think about those things and how we can change them and prepare for those things. We run from those things. For me, one of my fears used to be not being able to provide my parents with grandchildren. And then I kind of moved from there. Bambi says, not accomplishing everything, being misunderstood, the unknown, not being able to find love. I understand that, Bambi. One of my other fears, well, my current fear now, sometimes is being being alone. When I say being alone, like right now, I'm fine being by myself. I think dying alone is my fear. That's what my fear is. Like in my last days, like my last day on earth, I'm afraid of dying alone. Monique says being misunderstood. As Colin says, both. I find myself looking out for everyone I love. And that can be a lot to carry, y'all. A lot of this stuff is a lot to carry. So we do have to make sure we're prepared, because some things we just can't control. And I think a lot of times we are afraid of these things because we can't control them. And I think Miss Beverly was was someone who said that, not having control. And not having control scares the hell out of most of us. Animal Lover said, I am misunderstood all the time. Miss Beverly says, I want to be with my family forever. Not being able to do that, y'all, being misunderstood, being forgotten, all of that stuff weighs heavy on us. It definitely weighs heavy on us. But again, those are some things, there are things that we can't change. We have to accept those things that we can't change and just try to prepare ourselves for everything. And also try to enjoy life for what it is now. As Colin said, disappointing my family. Miss Beverly said, my life changed drastically. I don't even know this body I'm in. Having to rely on others for basic needs. And again, Miss Beverly, I can kind of understand where you're coming from with that. It's a control thing. It's a pride thing for us too. So we have to be able to be vulnerable and let go. We have to be able to the people that are right in our face, our family, our immediate circle, our immediate family. We have to be able sometimes to allow them to see us. And a lot of times we don't want people to see us because we're afraid of being judged. Laura says, my biggest fear is getting fat. And a lot of, Laura, that's a lot in that, because that can go back to, is it your fear of what people may think of you? How is it a fear of illness? So those things, we have to understand why these things scare us. And once we understand why these things scare us, we can get a better understanding of ourselves and how we can deal with it. Ms. Beverly says, when you've been in control so long and self-dependent, yeah, you have to retrain your mind out of it to surrender. Man, Miss Beverly, don't I know it? Because there's a lot of things that, I used to do that I don't do anymore. So I get that. So the next question I'm going to go to, y'all, says, if you had 3 wishes, but you couldn't wish for money, what would you wish for? If you had 3 wishes, but you couldn't wish for money, what would you wish for? If you had 3 wishes, but you couldn't wish for money, what would you wish for? Sonia said, respect, happiness, and success. Miss Janice said, love, my vision, my health. Animal Lover says, my kids to be happy, for my family to be healthy, and to truly be happy. Velvet says house, peace, and understanding. Mm. That peace thing is a mouthful, Velvet. People don't know how much peace really means to you. Miss Beverly says total healing over my body, perfect credit, protection over my family. Monique says my first wish would be to bring my father back. My second wish would be to rebuild Black Wall Street. My third wish would be to feed the world. 247 says peace, justice, and happiness. Tika said for my mom and dad to be back on the earth with me, and for my kids not to want for anything. Ashley says eternal health and happiness for my family, protection over my Black brothers and sisters, an end to all the madness. Okay, Bambi said her first wish will be Z to be taken care of for life. Her second wish is total healing, body, mind, and spirit. And 3, minister to nations. I think my 3 would be peace, health, um, peace, health, and joy. All right, y'all. So I'm going to move on to the next question. What is something you've recently discovered about yourself that you, hold up, wait a minute, let me go back. Rhonda she has her 3: generational wealth, a world free of racism, and a women's shelter. Okay. So the next question that I'm going to ask y'all says, what is something you've recently discovered about yourself that you need to work on? What is something that you've recently discovered about yourself that you need to work on? And not necessarily that is bad, but that you may want to improve on. So let me not make it sound like it's something bad about you, because it doesn't necessarily have to be something bad. But something, well, I've been doing this and I need to get better, or, go to the next step. Bambi says, I am still allowing trauma to trigger me. Okay. Okay. Velvet says, being able to say no at the right time. Tika said, always wanting to be in control. Animal Lover says the same. She agreed with Bambi. Again, y'all, the question is, what is something you've recently discovered about yourself that you need to work on? And even if you don't put it in the chat, because sometimes things can be sensitive, at least be honest with yourself. Sonia says, not allowing folks to run over me. Laura says, being able to tell people my feelings to their face. Ashley says, patience. My thing is with y'all, everyone that's listed their things so far, the first step is being able to acknowledge that, y'all. The simple fact that you're able to acknowledge it and say it means that you are definitely on the right path to being able to correct it. Once you find out that you have something you need to work on and you are aware of it, every time you do it or every time it happens, it stands out even more. 247 says not using my voice enough and not being afraid to fight more. Rhonda says I break my own personal boundaries because I didn't have them in my childhood, correcting that behavior. Yeah, see, once we pinpoint the things that we need to work on, like um I've I have to work on being able, like I can hear someone else's feelings and understand it. Sometimes in a situation, if I'm emotional too, in that moment, I only can hear mine. Like at the moment that we're talking about, like I can go back later and calm down and think about it, but I struggle with in the moment being able to understand the other person's feelings. I can hear them, I can understand what they're saying, but being able to not ignore that and focus on me. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but being able to respect the other person's feelings in that moment is what I'm working on. But that's growth, y'all. So even if this is your first time even bringing this up or thinking about any of this, um, work on that. Continue to work on it, y'all. Write this down. Remember it if you haven't done so already. All right. So this next question I'm going to ask you. You again. You're gonna have to be honest with yourself on this one, just like we were on this last one. What is something you continue to hold on to? Hold on, let me read Tanira's. When I'm mad as fuck, it's hard for me to hear the other person's feelings because all I can think about is my feelings and how pissed I am. I can relate, Tanira. I can. That's why I have to like try to calm myself down so that I can think and hear everything. So I get it. All right, y'all. So this next question says, what is something you continue to hold on to that you know is bad for you? What is something you continue to hold on to that you know is bad for you? That can be anything. It could be a person, it can be a place, it can be a thing. What is something that you continue to hold on to that you know is bad for you? Lord dropped down first and said grudges. I think a lot of us do that one, Laura. Whether we want to admit it or not, a lot of us hold on to grudges. Rhonda says familiarity, I can't say it, y'all. Familiarities that I see and feel in people. Baby says the potential that I see in people, it clouds my judgment. Rhonda says that I know are no good for me. People that I know are no good for me. Carolyn says bad family members. Tika says friends. And family too. So she said friends and family too. Velvet, think about it. Think about it. I mean, again, this question isn't just for the chat, it's for you too. And Sonia, the question is, what is something you continue to hold on to that you know is bad for you? It could be bad habits. And Bambi just said it for herself. I will ignore bad habits, red flags, and if I see the better, if I see the better them, okay, yeah, I got you. Sonia says, what is the, okay, I already answered that. Tanir says, fear I've let it hold me back my whole life. Okay. 247 says, allowing people to run over. I see it coming but won't stop. Monique said toxic relationships. Bambi says I'm too optimistic at times. Hmm. Bambi, I think you just said basically what Monique said, but you broke it down a little bit more. Monique said toxic relationships. And Bambi, that may just be what it is. Some relationships are worth fighting for. Some are just that. They're toxic. It's dead. And you have to let it go. Bambi says I get disappointed every time. Tanira says toxic relationships, another one. Okay, so Tiara says, my question, why they ignore me, not hire me for jobs, cause reason my death, but they try away from me so I can deal with ear in person. You understand deaf cultures. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna read the next question before I answer Tiara. All right, so the next question is where does your self-worth come from? Hey Muck, thank you for coming. The next question asks, where does your self-worth come from? All right, let me go back up because I missed some of these answers, y'all. All right, so the question says, where does your self-worth come from? Velvet says inside and helping others. B Charmer says, God, I know who I am and whose I am. I agree with you on that, B Charmer, definitely. Rhonda says within, didn't find it until I became closer to God. 247 says myself, I had to see me for me to be a better and stronger me. Oh, snap, my whole chat just jumped. Tanira says, still haven't found it. Ashley says, my self-worth comes from my past. I've learned so many things that have went wrong. I'll never settle for less. If you know better, you do better. And Tanira, like Bambi said, that is definitely honest. And you don't have to know it immediately. You do not have to know this immediately. Don't think that you have to. A lot of us don't find out until later in life. You just continue to work on you, continue to listen to yourself and be honest with yourself about the things that you like and the things that you don't like. Be honest with yourself about the things that make you happy, the things that make you mad, the things that make you sad, the things that you enjoy, your talents. Um, be honest with yourself about all of those things, and don't allow anyone else to tell you you're wrong about it, or no, Tanira, that's not you. Don't let anyone tell you how you feel about you and what you're doing. And it's again, these things are always easier said than done, but with practice they become perfect. And once you start doing those things and being honest with yourself, you'll start finding that you're more motivated to be you and love on you versus trying to be someone everyone else think you're supposed to be. Yeah, we got it, Ashley. And so Bambi says, people that have an answer for everything scares me. Yeah, now that's understandable too, because there isn't an answer for everything. There are only opinions, there are only suggestions, there are only experiences. There is no perfect answer for a lot of these questions because it's all based on personal experience. All based on personal experience. And thank you, Tika and Mo, for sharing me out. Now, y'all, I'm about to go to the next question, okay? So, the next question, okay, hold on. Laura says, I was always told that I was worthless growing up. So, I am not convinced that I'm worth anything. Now, Laura, you have a lot going for yourself, and you have a lot of people in your life that love you. Um, and the only thing that I can tell you is to, instead of pointing out things that you think are flaws, look at yourself and point out everything that you love about you, everything that you think is unique about you, everything that makes you special, because there are a lot of things. However, we like to compare ourselves to other people. We like to think about what other people say. And a lot of times, people say things because they want to get under your skin. They talk about things that are great about you because they don't want you to know that those things are great about you. Well, let me not let her think she's pretty. They go, oh, Laura thinks she's beautiful. Let me tell her she's ugly. So people will try to say stuff to discourage you, to um to make you feel bad when they really know the truth. So the only thing that I can tell you to do is to continue to try to find things about you that are positive, the things about yourself that you do not care for. Um, if it's possible, work on them. We always can improve in some form, but don't let it be because someone else told you that there was something wrong with it. Let it be because it's something you want to change for you. Monique says, I really don't have an answer. I'm still trying to figure this thing called life and love out. Okay, hey, she's still trying to figure it out. And that's understandable. A lot of us are. I mean, I'm definitely doing it. Definitely doing it. So the next question that I want to ask y'all is, are you more worried about doing things right or doing the right thing? Are you more concerned with doing things right or doing the right thing? Okay, so I got people saying, so Velvet, Rhonda, Sonya says doing the right thing. B Charmer says both of them. Animal Lover says doing things right. Okay. So I see we got some people kind of seeing things a little bit different. Some people saying both. Doing things right. Doing things right. Or doing things or doing the right things. Now, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I got these questions. I read some of these questions and I did not answer them, because I wanted it to be something we thought about together. Monique says doing the right thing. Wing said doing things right. Y'all, sometimes it can be, I might be charming though, both of them. But the thing about it is, not the way I look at it, that's a hard thing to say for me because doing the right thing, sometimes doing the right thing may be the wrong thing. And who is to determine whether or not you are doing the things right? Because everyone has a different way of doing it, has a different way of getting the same result. And Wings just said the exact same thing that I'm saying right now. My right thing may not be your right thing. And that's my thing. It's like, Velvet says, aren't they switchable? Okay, so the question again, Ron asked me to read the question again. Are you more worried about doing things right or doing things? I'm sorry, excuse me. Are you more? I'm trying to read it off the top of my head. Are you more worried about doing things right or doing the right thing? Are you more worried about doing things correctly, by the book? Or are you more worried about doing what's right, what's morally right, or what you believe and feel in your heart is right? So if you're at work and your job is to just say evict people, right? You're a manager in an apartment complex and you know that this family has been affected by COVID and they're not working, but your job as a manager is to go ahead and evict this family. But you understand, like, would you do things right by the book? Or would you do the right thing? We just offer them more time based on how you feel. And so Rhonda came back to double down on her answer. She said, doing the right thing for sure. I'm going to make mistakes as I figure out life, but I can learn from those mistakes and do better. Absolutely. Hey, Riri. And Tanira also said, doing things right. Hey, Nelman, thank you for coming in. Yeah, I'm on both of them. Because, some things I think need to have structure. And then sometimes we just end up being in a position where we just have to make the best decision for us or what we think is right. And again, like me and Wings both said, not everyone agrees to do things the same way. And Monique says, doing the right thing. I was always taught to follow my heart. Right. And Tanir says the right thing isn't always black and white. That's true. That is true. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go to another question here. All right. So this next question is going to ask, what's one thing you have not done that you really want to do? Oh, hold on. Before we answer that question, y'all, let me read some of these comments. A lot of things don't have structure. Going for how you going for it is how you figure out what to change and do differently or better. But if someone is getting bullied, intervening is always the right thing to do. 247 says I would drag the paperwork out, giving them as many chances and resources. Right. So all of this stuff, to be honest, I think that question depends on the person and it depends on the situation. Laura says, I am known to be a rule breaker. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and move back on to the next question. And thank y'all for that input. I mean, I think that's for me, it's going to give me something to think about a little bit later on today. So this question asks, what's one thing you have not done that you really want to do? What's one thing that you have not done that you really want to do? What's up, Scorp? All right, Tanira says travel. And again, I'm going to repeat the question again. What's one thing you have not done that you really want to do? All right, Tika said travel. Laura says go to college. Sonia says have children. Okay, I got another one. Baby said travel my ass off. What's one thing you have not done that you really want to do? Okay, Scorp says get my master's. B Charmer says sit on a misty mountaintop in India, meditate and make love. Okay then, B Charmer. Nelma says be in a relationship with two women who love each other. Lord Jesus, well. All right then, Nelma. And that's what you want to do. Hope you find women, people you're looking for. But I look, hey, again, this is about y'all, what you want. Look, again, judgment free zone, y'all. And one thing that I wanted to do that I have not done, I wanted to open a dance studio in my neighborhood. I know now I may not be able to do it effectively. Will be as involved with the classes as I wanted to, but I don't think it's something that's completely over with for me. 247 says getting my master's because I'm conflicted. Some companies don't care what your degree is in, which is true. Lord Tanir says, well, damn, y'all nasty. My answer, okay, was PG as well. Look, look, that's what they wanted to do. That's what they wanted to do. Yes, Nelman, living your truth. Living your truth, absolutely. Look, I want us to be honest with ourselves, though. That's the whole point of it. And thank you, baby. I don't know if I said thank you for sharing me out. Velvet says be able to help people with no financial worries. Hey. Bambi says I want to take pole dancing classes. Y'all, all I'm saying is if you can do it, welcome back, Courtney. If you can do it, and if fear is the only thing holding you back, do it. If, saying, well, I don't want to do it by myself, do it. I say do it, y'all. Please, if you don't do it for anyone else, do it for me. Because life is too short. It is too short to keep putting things off. It's too short. Do it. Okay, Rhonda. It's too short. Now, the next question I'm going to ask you is a personal question. When I say it's personal, meaning I want you to answer this and let it be specifically and only about you. So I know most of you guys may say your kids, but once your kids are all grown up, it's just going to be you. What's keeping you going? Thank you, Carolyn. Monique says she want to open up a boys and girls club and resource center so the kids can stay out of trouble and have something to do. Now that's definitely great, and that's how I felt about my dance studio, because the kids in my neighborhood, they have to go way on the other side of town or even sometimes outside of the city to get there. Okay, y'all. So the next question again says, what's keeping you going? Tanira says, God, faith that things will get better. Sonia said, my faith in God. Bambi says, my chat is delayed. Okay. Just refresh it and come on back. Wayne said, my personal drive. I set high expectations for myself. Courtney says, God, definitely. B. Charma says, me, I got ish to do. What's keeping me going, y'all, is the desire to see how far I can go, to see the plan God has for me. Curiosity. Wanting to test myself. It's scary, but the more confident I get in myself, the more faith I have in God, like the more my faith grows in God and trust in Him, the more excited I get. Laura says, finding my purpose. Okay, Velva. So the question was supposed to be other than your kids, but I'm not saying your kids don't keep you going, but I wanted you to focus more on you. So God. So is there anything else specifically about you that keeps you going? Scorp says, for me, remember this is the only life I have. After that, that's it. Okay, Ashley. Okay, Bambi says, faith in God, my desire to complete everything I set out to do, and being able to let mofos that doubted me. Okay. (247) says hope. All right, so Velvet came back and she says God and willingness to learn. Y'all let that stuff, let that motivate you every day. I know some of us have kids, some of us don't. We have to be able to find things within ourselves, because we lean too much on other people when it comes down to finding our happiness in life. And when those people move on and they find their own happiness, a lot of times we're left looking crazy. So we have to find happiness within ourselves, not on your spouse or your kids or your parents, but what makes you happy, what keeps you going. Because everything around us is subject to change and leave. The only thing that's current and constant is God. Monique says, what keeps me going is saying that my father used to tell me every day, you have to be willing to do today what most people won't in order to live tomorrow, which most people can't. So you have to be willing to do today what most people won't in order to live tomorrow, which most people can't. Laura says, my kids are almost grown. Right, Laura. So once they get out, you don't have to, it's going to be you and James, and y'all going to have to find your own peace and happiness, because you won't have the distraction of the kids anymore. Bambi says, I'm ready for God to prepare a feast for me in the face of my enemies. Look, when I tell you He's already doing it for me, and getting rid of these dead ends and broke branches and dead. Yeah, all that stuff is falling right on off. Monique says, you have to be willing to do today what most people won't in order to live tomorrow, which most people can. Okay. B. Charmer says, pay attention, Bambi. The table is currently being set. Shoot, I know mine is. And Bambi says, it's not about proving anything to anyone. It's that my life proved them to be a liar. Tanira says, dang, did I miss the question? Tanira, the question is, what's keeping you going? So that's the same question. I think you heard that. Monique says tomorrow is not promised, so be the best you can be. All you can be. Daughter of a soldier. Okay, Tanira. All right, y'all. So this next question that I'm going to ask you is, what's holding you back? What's stopping you from being everything that you want to be, doing everything that you want to do, letting go of things that you need to let go of? What's holding you back? Now, this question, okay. Tanira, not Tanira, but Sonia says fear. Animal Lover says fear and finances. Yeah, finances can be, it can be a scary thing, y'all. Man, that fear and finances, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, real talk though, that takes so much faith. It takes so much faith. Velvet says me. Yeah. It takes so much faith. You have to be able to believe in yourself. Have y'all ever realized that God has a lot of faith in us? He has so much faith in us that he gives us tasks that seem huge. When we think about the purpose, the task that he's given us, it's so intimidating. But if God trusts us enough to give us this task, he knows that we're capable of it. Who are we to doubt us, doubt the ability that he's given us, the tools that he's already given us that we're afraid to use? We have to have faith. God has faith in us. We have to have faith in him and trust. Step out on faith. We can't be afraid to do that, y'all. So that being said, Bambi says time and time has not caught up with God's will for my life. Okay. Bambi, pray about that time thing. Pray about it. And listen to God and make sure you're not listening to yourself. Because sometimes our own voice, we'll speak over God's voice. We'll try to anyway. So pray about that. So with that being said, I want to ask y'all, when was the last time you stepped out on faith? When was the last time you just said, man, forget it. I'm just going to go out here and I'm just going to do it? You look, I may not have the money. I may have to do it by myself. My family and friends may laugh at me. It may not make sense to anyone, but I'm going to step out here and do it. Oh, goodness. Okay, S. Collins. Tanir says never. Velvet says last month. Carolyn says starting a YouTube channel was stepping out. Animal Lover says last year. I got my high school diploma and didn't tell anyone. Congratulations, Laura. Yes. Congratulations. Tanir says, I never took a risk or took a leap of faith. Tanir, that's okay. Look, there is no need to put your hand on your face, babe. You are not the only one. There's a lot of us that didn't do it till later in life. There's a lot of people still haven't done it. So don't even feel any kind of way about that. You may not even reach that point in your life yet. Sometimes you're still building. God is still preparing you for that moment. So don't even fear. Monique says the fear of not being able to accomplish it and accomplish it and give my haters, the ones that doubted me, the pleasure they don't deserve. Okay. Monique, I guess when she come back, her chat will be up or be current. I think she's a little behind. Tanir says this conversation is really eye-opening, Jen. Well, Tanir, that's what I want it to be. That's exactly what I wanted. We need this. We have too many distractions that distract us from us and not, growing spiritually, mentally, in every way, y'all. So 247 says 2006 when I threw everything out my house on the curb and left my old life behind. Sometimes starting over is just what you need to do. Laura says, thanks everyone. I used to be embarrassed about it. No, ma'am. Don't be embarrassed about an accomplishment. That's awesome. You know how many people want to do but afraid to do it, can't do it? That's an amazing accomplishment. Sonia said, starting my channel was definitely a step. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm learning every day. Tanir says, I have a question as well, but I don't want to stop the flow of your questions, so I will ask at the end. Okay. Scorp says, left my job, my woman, and went to Africa with almost nothing and came back. Well, dog, Scorp. Now that's definitely stepping on out there. And went to Africa. All right, y'all. So this next question says, give me 1 second. Let me give me a little sip of water while y'all read Scorp's answer. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. So the next question is, do you push the elevator button more than once? And do you really believe that it makes the elevator come faster? Again, do you push the elevator button more than once? And do you really believe it makes the elevator move faster? The Lord says, I'd rather use the stairs. So how many of y'all just need the elevator pressing the button? Tanir says, hell yeah, I push the elevator more than once because I'm impatient as fuck. I don't know if it works, but it makes me feel better while waiting. Scorp says, if it doesn't light up, I do. Or if I hit the wrong floor. Velvet says, once for me. Monique says, yep, in my head, I think and do it, I'd be pushing the hell out of that button. Right. Bambi said the same thing. She says, I push the hell out of that button. Tanir says, I do the same thing when I'm crossing the street and waiting for the light to change. Y'all, this question, at first I thought this was a funny question. I was like, yeah. This is going to be a little question that's, kind of funny and, throw us off a little bit. Tika says, depending on how I'm feeling, I may push it once or a lot of times. Sonia said, I don't press the floor button more than once, but I be wanting the doors to hurry. So hurry and close, my bad. So I press it more than once. Now that's messed up. Laura says, I'm afraid it will break down on me. Right, break down with me in it. So heck no. Look, I get you. Right, Bambi, I noticed that you and Tanir pretty much have the same question. Same answers. Now, again, this question says, do you push the elevator button more than once? And do you really believe it makes the elevator faster? Y'all, to me, I have done it before. 247 says, no, I'm always think it will delay it coming and have to reset it myself like a computer and have to reset itself. Okay. But yeah, I think this question really determines your patience. Things are coming. They're coming, but sometimes we're so impatient. We try to rush it. We get frustrated. We get upset. We start picking with things. We take different routes for things that are coming at the time that they're supposed to come, that they're meant to come. Things are gonna happen in their own timing. And sometimes we have to just enjoy the ride, be patient. Because you can do all that stuff and it's still not gonna come any faster. The only thing you're gonna do is stress yourself out. Bambi says, I don't think it helped, but it sure damn helped my anxiety. But sometimes it may not. But if you apply that to life situations where we're just impatient, sometimes we're walking around mad and frustrated for no reason. Because being impatient, I don't care what you say, it will stress you the fuck out. So sometimes it's best for us to allow things to come the way they need to come and be patient. Some things we do have to work for and go and get, but it's not always meant to come fast. So don't get mad if things don't happen as fast as you would like or the way that you would like. 247 says, and I get mad when people keep pushing up. Yeah, I understand. Definitely understand that 247. But yeah, y'all, we just gotta be patient. Like I didn't think I just really thought about that with this question, y'all. As I was reading it to y'all and reading our answers and thinking about my own personal answer. Because I do it every now and then. But we do have to practice patience. Because what's meant for us is definitely gonna be for us. And it's coming. All right, y'all. So let me ask y'all this. I got some more questions. Y'all want to hear some more of these questions? Because I got some for us. Let me know if y'all want some more questions. Because I got some more. Now, I don't know if my chat just delayed or what. But between StreamYard and YouTube, I don't know. All right, 247 says yes. Okay. All right, so everybody down for more questions. Now, Bambi, you know we're gonna have to wait for Tanir question later because there's no telling what kind of question Tanira has. Y'all know she be coming with it. You see what she said, Bambi, don't worry, I'll ask at the end. All right, y'all. So the next question says, honestly speaking, again, honestly speaking, have you been the kind of friend you want as a friend? Honestly speaking, have you been the kind of friend that you want as a friend? Yes or no? Betrama says yes. Sonia says yes. Monique says yep. Scorp says no. Laura says yes, I have. Rhonda says without a doubt. Velvet says definitely yes. Two 47 says yes. Bambi says I actually need a friend like me. Tanir says, dang, am I the only one to say no? No, Tanir, you're not. You're not. And Tanir, even if you were, that's okay. What we have to do, Tanir, is one thing that all of us have to do is stop comparing our answers and our life decisions to others because our experiences are not the same. They're not the same. So if you said no, that's fine. Just keep working. If you know you haven't, then just work on that. That's what these questions are about, to make us aware of things that we don't think about and to do better. That's it. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go to the next question. Now, keeping it simple, but straight to the point and being as honest as possible. What do you want and what do you expect in a mate? What do you want in and expect from your mate? Laura says honesty and loyalty. Lord, StreamYard so slow, y'all. I think Lord right now is the. All right, so Sonia says honesty, respect, and faithfulness. All right, baby, think on it. Velvet says honesty, truth, love, and understanding. Them to love God. Scorp says softness and solid loyalty. Rhonda says I want someone who is a good listener, loving, humorous, supportive, ambitious, and has their own friends. Tanira says I want loyalty. I want someone driven and motivated. I want someone that can make me laugh. I want someone that cares about me and my son that I can grow and enjoy my life with. Bambi says I'm going to do a build and make workshop. So I'm gonna see if there's a few more answers gonna roll in here. Because some people may still be thinking And some people may still be typing. Wing said, just follow my lead. Don't ask any questions. Obey my instructions. All right. 247 says, after God put me first, respect, encouragement, not mean, a good provider. Bambi says, I feel that I could sell myself short answering that worsen, honestly. Okay. Okay, I was wondering what worsen was coming. What you mean by worsen? Lord wings, Jesus. They, okay, babe. All right. All right, now. So this next question asks, we ask for these things, but are we truly ready to receive this person and do the work to match? Okay, Rhonda said she wanted to add, she's leaving out a lot, but she wanted to add spontaneity. I love someone who isn't so structured. All right, so y'all, if you met this person, they had all of the things that you want, even the things that you didn't mention. Are you right now where you are in life? Are you prepared to deal with this person? Are you prepared to offer them the same thing? Are you prepared to do what it takes to keep that kind of relationship? Are you prepared to give them the same thing in return? Scorp says, nope, I want to be single, but when I'm ready, I want that. Wayne says, oh, most definitely. Velvet says, yes and no. Lord Wings, babe. Thank you, Muck. Tanir says, nope, I don't love me. So I'm definitely not open to love and would make a great partner. Rhonda says, nah, I'm still working on me. And honestly, I want to be alone for a while. Bambi says, because I really hope my next significant other pull out things with me that I didn't imagine. Okay. Pull things out of me that I didn't imagine. I got you. Or pull out things within me. Okay. I'm sorry, baby. I read your answer all wrong, but I got it. Monique says, indeed. Yes, I am. Laura says, I've given that, but don't get it in return sometimes. Bambi says, absolutely not. 247 says, yes, I have. And I'm all in when I'm in a relationship. Wynn says, oh, give them the same in return. I think I waited for that for so long. I'm overly ready. Okay, twin. Wynn says, no, ma'am. Oh, give them the same in return? Okay, so you saying, no, ma'am, you can't. Okay. All right. So, that being said, this now I asked y'all if you were ready for that person and all of that stuff. Now, this next question was kind of the same. I'm going to skip it, but the next question, as do you meet your own expectations? Like the things that you asked for, do you meet that? But I'm gonna let y'all think on that. We don't have to answer that in the chat. Now, this next question it says this again, so I want y'all to think about it. This is something that I mentioned that I struggle with sometimes. When having a heart to heart with your mate and they tell you how they feel, do you first think about their feelings and experience? Or do you immediately think about how you feel about what they've said in that situation? When having a heart to heart with your mate and they tell you how they feel, do you first think about their feelings and experience, or do you immediately think about how you feel about what they've said and that and their experience or that situation? Well, I mean, animal lover, you can only think of one thing first. So you say in both, but you can't think necessarily think of both at once. So one is going to come to mind. You may not think about the first thing that long, but one of the other is going to come first. So let's be honest with ourselves. And I mean, even if you do think about you, even just for a second, Rhonda says, think about their feelings, experience, and triggers. Velvet said both. Sonia says, in the past, I would have thought about my own feelings, but with growth in myself, I now think about theirs first. Okay, Tanira says, does thinking what they said is wrong and stupid the same as not thinking about what they said? My marriage toxic as fuck. My marriage toxic as fuck though. Maybe I should stop answering. No, Tanira, don't stop answering. But when you said that you thought that their answer or their feelings was wrong and stupid, you're thinking about how you feel about what they said and not about how they felt. So your answer would be no, you think about you first. Okay, so 247 says, I consider what they have to say. Monique says their feelings. Laura says, I think, what the fuck did you say? Rhonda says, basing their response from my last relationship, I like to take the same approach with next maze. I don't know what that means, but okay. Wayne said, I think about them. That's why I stay quiet most of the time. I like to take it all in. You do. 247 says, I've learned to walk in someone else's shoes. Bambi says, I used to be reactionary. I listen to respond. Now I listen to understand and get misunderstood anyway. 247 indeed. Bambi, Laura, I just screamed. All right. Tanira says, that's my problem. I listen to respond. All right, Rhonda. So Rhonda says she looks, she'll probably take that same approach with her next mate. All right. Well, I have to make sure I'm calm and ready to talk. I am so much better now than what I used to be. But I do try to hear the person out first before I consider my feelings. I try to hear what they said I did and remember what I did and remember the moment so that I can kind of go on that journey with them. And I try to see it from their point of view and not from what I remember happening. Scorp says that's hard because if they are saying something on how I've hurt them, I think of them, but when an ex confessed to cheating, I think about me. Well, see, again, if they're telling you how they feel, they're not telling you something that they've done. That's the difference. If someone is telling you, I cheated on you, yeah, immediately you're gonna think about you. But if they're trying to once they told you that they cheated on you, they're trying to explain to you what happened in your relationship and where things went south for them, in order for you to understand why they cheated in their heart to heart, you're going to have to listen to their feelings. You won't be able to understand if you're too busy thinking about how you feel about them cheating. You're going to be blinded. You won't be able to hear, and you'll never be able to get an understanding of it. So, but I definitely get what you were saying about that doggone cheating though. Okay, so Tanira says, I think that's hold up, let me go back. Tanira says, dang, I ain't shit. It's hard for me to listen when it comes to my current relationships because I swear I'm right. And sometimes it's not always about being right. Sometimes it's about what's on the inside of a person. Because what's right for you may not necessarily be right to them. And we also have to remember, even if you've been with your significant other for years, your experiences before each other, or even in the same situations, you don't see them the same. You don't interpret them the same. All of us can be in the same movie theater and have a totally different experience when it comes to watching a horror movie. Some people can find it funny. Some people can find it thrilling. Some people can think it's the scariest thing in the world. Some people can think it's boring. It's the same movie, but different interpretations, different experiences. So the best way to understand where your mate is coming from is to honestly listen to them and not try to dictate how they should feel based on your feelings. Otherwise, you will never get anything resolved. Bambi says, another thing I've grown to do with my acknowledgement, I can apologize. Okay. Tanir says, because the conversation should have happened before the cheating. Okay. That's true, Tanira, but how often does the conversation happen before the cheating? And who's to say that it didn't happen before the cheating? That could be the problem too. If the conversation happened before the cheating and the person didn't listen because they were too busy thinking about themselves. So all of that stuff plays a part in it. Bambi says, I am not receptive of apologies with continued behavior. All right, so Scorp says, true, Bam, me too. But then I realized one time I was the only one doing it, to the point she had the nerve to be like, I'm tired of hearing you apologize. Now, nope. Okay. Yeah, see, people, okay, Bam says, I can receive apologies for the same thing. Eventually, behavior should change. Absolutely. Everybody need to have accountability. Everyone ought to have accountability. And the thing is, too, some people they don't apologize for things based on what the other person experienced. A lot of people apologize based on whether they feel that you deserve an apology. And to me, I think that's even worse. Like, I don't even want your apology if you're not genuinely apologizing for how I felt or for the experience. If you're like, well, you know what, I guess that's a good enough reason for me to apologize. Because my thing is, I don't care whether you agree with how I responded or not. My feelings are still my feelings. Even if you don't get it, even if you would have reacted differently, my feelings are absolutely still my feelings. My feelings don't outweigh yours, and yours sure as hell don't outweigh mine. B. Trauma says, I don't have conversations about cheating. If you cheat, communication is over. Bambi says, exactly, Shane, not to mention it's out of habit. Bambi says, my feelings are valid. Okay, Bambi says, sex. Sonia says, sex, babe. Ain't no understanding. Look, I'm with you. Now, in some cases, people want to work things out. Or some people may not even want to work things out. Sometimes you just want to understand it before you move the fuck on. Sometimes it's for your peace of mind. And Rhonda says, but sometimes people don't owe an apology for how others feel. Some people are holding on to trauma they haven't dealt with and don't know how to manage with certain things when certain things come up. And you're absolutely right, Rhonda, which is why I said too, if you apologize to me, then let it be because of how I feel. You're right. We don't always get apologies. We don't. Sometimes we have to suck it up and move forward. Sometimes we just have to be like, well, you know what? It just is what it is. I'm happy with the way I handled it. I'm happy with the way that I dealt with it. And you can't make people do things that they don't want to do. You can't make people see things the way you want them to see them. And that can be frustrating. But once you realize that the only thing that really matters is your peace of mind. Yes, babe, I am. Wayne says, Dr. Meg Love, are you referencing past relationships? You are referencing past relationships, right? Absolutely. Everything that I'm saying right now really is from my personal experiences, things that I've seen, things that I've heard. We're all witness to certain things. Absolutely, babe. Okay, so Sonia says, I don't care what your reason was. I'm done. No need to talk because I might want to fight after that. See, now, twin, you need to just take a moment and then come back. Bambi says that goes back to me thinking people have the heart that I do. And Bambi, you got to stop having those expectations. We get upset with people because we expect them to think the way we think, move the way we move. Man, I have been upset plenty of days thinking that people gonna move the way I move, think the way that I think, talk the way that I talk, react the way I react, express themselves the way that I do, like the same things that I do. Lord Jesus, Lord. Somebody get Sonya, some come back well. Twin, I'm coming back with a pistol. Where the machete at? Put the damn gun down. They probably stand a better chance with the machete, Jesus. Well, baby, that's something you like you say, I'm learning that. Keep learning. Because don't say, unfortunately, I only have. You have more. You just haven't tapped into it yet. And it takes practice. But it also takes, like you said, you have acknowledgement. So once you acknowledge it, you just said it yourself. Work on it. Work on it. Because going from one extreme to the other, it's not even about the other person. It's about you and your peace of mind. But it definitely takes time. Because, baby, Shin was I was a motherfucker back in the day. And I did not care. I did not care what I said. I did not care what I did. Once I reached my fuck it point, I didn't care about consequences. I didn't care about how you hurt, how I hurt you, what was said, what was done. Because I'm like, well, you shouldn't have pissed me off. So you're going to have to deal with it. And I'll deal with whatever's coming later. We have to learn to kind of control that. You know what I'm saying? And it takes growth and it takes time. Some of us get it faster than the others. Some of us think we got it all in the bag until we meet the wrong person. And, they pull it out of us. You be like, damn, I thought I had moved past this. This motherfucker gonna be the reason I go to jail. Damn it, people don't have to be appreciative of the new you. You have to be appreciative of the new you. It's not about other people. It's about you. It's about you. So let me go on back up and read some of these other comments. Okay, Scorp says, I have the ability to deep dive and reflect on my actions. I need someone who has that ability. Dang, Leo. So hold up, Scorp, I'm a Leo. What you trying to say about Leo, Squirt? Because we good people now. We are great people. Great people. Tanira says, Rhonda, through experiences, I never viewed it as a toxic trait. I thought it was normal, but I always accept the apology without furthering the conversation to see if I was truly heard. And that can definitely be toxic. And y'all, we really, that's why I don't know if y'all have seen my new video, my latest video, but that's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about in my new series discussing accountability. Toxic. A lot of times we are the toxic person in our friendships, in our relationships, in the relationships with our families. We can definitely be the toxic one. We can definitely be the one to talk down to family members and don't even realize we're doing it because we don't see ourselves as the villain. We're all the only thing we can think of. I could never hurt anyone. I could never say anything like that. I would never purposely do this. Sometimes you may not be purposely doing it, but sometimes I said this in my video. The toxicity in your relationships a lot of times reflect the toxicity in your relationship with yourself. What is it that you haven't dealt with within you? And hurt people because they're hurt and they haven't dealt with their own traumas and triggers. So guess what? Because they haven't dealt with it, when they come into contact with other people, boom, they're triggered. But it's not necessarily that other person's fault. It's just, I haven't dealt with me yet. So, but again, we are growing, y'all. We are growing. These questions are meant for us to think about us in the ways that we don't often think about us. So 247 says, Shin, I keep singing Kanye's song, Heartless. We've all been there. Yes, we have. Anyone that sits here and says you've never been the villain in a situation, you a lie. I'm gonna tell you right now, you a goddamn lie. I'm gonna tell you to your face. I don't care nothing about it. You a lie. I don't care if your mama told you was a sweetheart and you could do no wrong. Both of y'all a lie. We have all done it. No one is perfect. Sometimes we have good days and we have bad days. Some days we're in the mood to deal with the bullshit. Some days we're not. However, look, we have to own our shit. We have to own it. And once you start owning it, then you can hold other people accountable. Well, I mean, your mama probably raising hell too. I know, I'm just saying, baby, me and my mama, I hope my mama in the bushes because she'll tell you, oh, Lord Jesus. I love my mama, but Lord Jesus, ooh, bless it, Lord. She's sweet though sometimes. Bless it. All right, y'all. So Rhonda says some people bring out the worst in you. Anyone ever experienced that? Some people do. Lord Scorp, some I'm pure and innocent. Yeah, yes, Scorp. Yeah, sure you are. Beach Alma, she might be. If y'all go back and think, she might be. But yeah, Rhonda, I've experienced that. But when people bring out the worst in you and you can't control it, if every time you're around them, all this negative stuff keeps pouring out of you and this negative energy, and you feel like you're in a dark place, you realize that every time you're around them, you're mad, you're upset. Remember when I talked about things that we hold on to that we should let go? That person is one of them. Let them go. Let them go. All right, y'all. Exactly, Betrauma. Betrauma says that luckily I had enough sense to get away and stay away. As we gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on to this next question. All right, Rhonda says, I feel that waterhead, but also people trigger old behaviors and things you've tried to work on. And Rhonda, what you do, and this is just my personal opinion. Um, when it's gonna happen, I mean, that's just being honest. There are going to be times where people trigger you. It's how you deal with that. All right, y'all. I think my Wi-Fi went out for a second. Am I back? All right, y'all got me back. Okay. It went out for a second. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, Rhonda, it's how you bounce back. You know, but you know this already, Rhonda. You already know we can't control other people as much as we want to, as bad as we want to. You know, no matter what we tell them and what we say, people gonna be assholes. Whether, we just can't do anything about it. The only thing we can do is control us, work on us, how we react to it. I'd be damned if I let another person actions, their stupidity, their willingness to rumble around in the dirt and in the mud cause me to get down there with them after I work my ass off to get out of it. Absolutely, Rhonda. You have to let it go. And you have to be able to know when to let it go. And also, letting it go doesn't necessarily mean that it has to end on a bad note. Sometimes you're just going on separate paths where you are in life and where that person, where they're going in life, where they are, it just don't match. They're still dealing with things. You may still be dealing with things. You look, hey, it was fun while it lasted. When people acknowledge someone's triggers that they may not see, make them a toxic person. Why, when people acknowledge someone's triggers that they may not see, that makes them a toxic person. So acknowledging someone else's traits as being toxic, or noticing what someone else's triggers makes them toxic. The intention is to take them, isn't to take them to a bad place, but to the betterment of that person. Well, sometimes, Bambi, some people aren't ready to hear that. Sometimes the delivery is terrible. Sometimes it could be the truth, but it's so funny that you said this, because that's really like my next question. My next question is it possible for you to hear the truth without challenging it? So it's funny that you said that. So that's the next question. Is it possible for you to hear the truth without challenging it? Right, Monique. Toxic relationships, let it go and move on. Right. Is it possible for you to hear the truth without challenging it? Tanira says today, yes, but it depends on the delivery and the person. I agree with that. Okay, Bill is basically saying the same thing. Maybe depends on how it's delivered. Okay, and Laura says, not unless I know the facts. Monique says, yes, if the delivery is right, you can't yell at somebody the truth. Nobody's going to hear you. Absolutely. They're going to hear how you said it and not what you said. Scorp says, depends on who it's coming from and how it's delivered. Just because it's the truth doesn't mean you need to be telling me or that I want to receive it from you. Man, Scorp, that part. Now, let me read Scorp answer one more time. Depends on who it's coming from and how it's delivered. Just because it's the truth doesn't mean you need to be telling me or that I want to receive it from you. Some of us be out here telling people the truth and it ain't your job or it shouldn't come from you. You may not be the best person. Sometimes you need to just shut up and, let other folks do it. Sometimes, we want to jump out there and play Captain Save-A-Ho and talking about, I tried to help her. She ain't want my help. You right. She sure as hell didn't. She didn't want it from you. You weren't the right person to deliver it. Just because you recognized it. Mm-mm. But it may need to come from someone else. Bambi says, I'm learning that my silence is louder than my voice can ever be. 247 says, yes, another person's perspective is just their opinion. Absolutely. Now, sometimes it can be based on facts. Because sometimes a person can tell you what you did, and instead of you listening to what you did, you're too busy trying to challenge it by saying why you did what you did, instead of just being like, yeah, I did say this. Yeah, I did do this. Y'all ever heard someone say, well, man, you slapped her. Well, I only slapped her because she did X, Y, and Z. No, you still slapped her, and slapping her was wrong. You didn't have to react like that. Well, she shouldn't have said this. That's the challenge. You shouldn't have slapped her. Rhonda says, I've received the truth from folks I didn't know well, and it worked in my favor because I was wrong. The delivery was everything, though. Hey, Pooh. Thank you for coming. But you're right, Rhonda. Delivery is absolutely everything. Timing is everything. Sometimes people like to tell you the truth in a room full of people or out loud when they need to pull you to the side. You may think, oh, this person's trying to embarrass me. And they just may not be aware that it's a bad time or that people can hear them. So timing and delivery. Rhonda says, I don't pick and choose who delivers the truth. All I care about is that it's respectful. I agree. I agree. Monique says, as long as the delivery is right, because at the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong. If you're wrong, own up to it, right? All right, y'all. So let's see. I have a few more questions, but it's going to be time for me to wind it down in a few minutes. And I do want to give Tanira a chance to ask her question. So I'm going to ask, I'm probably going to ask one, maybe two questions And then I'm going to get to Tanira's. So the next question is, what would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? What would you do differently if you knew no one would judge you? All right, so Velvet said be married. Laura says tell my mother-in-law exactly how I feel. Rhonda said move to Belize. Yeah, Ree, I'm fine. Thank you. Yes, Velvet, I'm fine. Thank you. Tanira says, I'm shy as fuck, so I'll come out of my shell and show my true self without fear of being judged. Okay, Pooh says, marry my ex. Scorp says, I can't think of anything at the moment. I don't know why this thing moving so slow. Bear with me, y'all. My chat is like super behind. Reese says, Rhonda, take me. Well, Rhonda says, y'all can have America. Pooh said, I have 5 kids. Carolyn says, truth is, I don't know anymore. Hmm. Little Monique says, tell everyone I kissed the girl and I liked it. Hey, scream it to the top of your lungs. Hell, I say do that now. All right, so Tanira, if you can, love, drop your question in the chat. Tanira's question is going to be the last question of the night. Tanira, you still here, boo? I don't know if my chat moving crazy or what. 247, I told my children and everyone that I never wanted to be a mother, only the cool aunt. Okay, Tamira, children are a huge responsibility. All right, y'all. We just waiting on Tanira. All right, so Tanira says, okay, my question was, why do people use positivity as a mask? For instance, when asked, how are you doing? Why do people feel the need to say I'm fine? Or when out with a friend or family member, why do you feel the need to put on a fake smile? Why is faking the funk the norm? Well, Laura says, because I don't trust the person that asked. My truthful answer to that is, I think we've become desensitized to that question. It's more, we've numbed it down to, we've basically dumbed it down, I'm sorry, to a simple hello. Some people will say, you say, hey, they say, how you doing? They don't really mean it. That's why sometimes, you may ask a person how they're doing, and they really tell you, and you'll be like, whoa, hold up. Wait a minute, I really didn't want to know how you were doing. I was just trying to say, hey. Also, people don't like to tell their business. Sometimes people want to let other people think that things are okay. And like B. Charmer just said, because most folk don't really want to know. Why waste my time? Rhonda says, I keep it going because sometimes that's the only choice. Talking about certain things at the moment might make me fall apart. That's true. Boo said it, same thing. Because you don't want to tell your business. Scorp said, same thing. Well, like at work, it's just speaking. I don't really care about your life unless we're close. Lil Pooh says, I just say okay and start walking fast. 247 says it's a form or norm of people to extend courtesy. We've always been taught to say good things to people. Do you want people? Do you people what you won't do to people what you want done? And that's just simple as that, Tamira. But as long as you're honest with you, and when you need the help, you need the assistance, don't be afraid to go and get it. You don't have to tell everybody your business, but don't hide it from yourself. And a lot of times we hide it from other people, we hide it from friends, we hide it from family, and then we hide it from ourselves. Thank you, Monique. Yes, thank y'all for the conversation. Love y'all. Love you, Monique. Yeah, y'all, I'm about to wrap it up because we've hit the 2 hour mark. I do have some more questions, but I'm gonna save them for another time. We would definitely need to do this again. So, I'm sorry, I drink a little water. Been running my mouth. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope this gave y'all something to think about. Like I said, the title of this is Thought Provoking Conversation. And I hope that it did just that. I hope it made you think of some things that we didn't even talk about that you need to deal with within yourself. So I also want y'all to keep an eye out for my videos that are going to be coming out. If you have not checked out my most recent video about accountability and building better relationships, asking, are you the problem? Are you the toxic person in a relationship? Definitely, definitely do so. Um, Look, hey, it's coming. Rhonda, it's coming. So I just want to thank y'all for being here with me tonight and being honest, y'all. Being honest with yourself, being honest with each other, not judging one another. That's what it's about. We all need a place to come to and be honest. So I will see y'all next Tuesday. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the feedback. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see y'all next Tuesday at 7 Central Standard Time. But until then, continue to be honest. Continue to love on yourself. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Love y'all.